Sup, Trojan family? We got a commitment. You know what I'm saying? We have a commitment. Told y'all we was going into linebackers more. You know what I'm saying? So we got the commitment from Giancarlo. Babe, you too loud. Giancarlo Rufo, right? Linebacker. Nice player. Know what I'm saying? Gary Patterson came in knowing that, yeah, feel like we need more linebackers. And you know what I'm saying? I agree with him. I agree with him that we need more linebackers. That's why I like the addition. So y'all come on in here, man. We gonna talk about it for a minute. We gonna talk about it for a minute, man. I'll bring this to y'all quick. And if y'all want a recruiting video, breakdown, analysis, and all that, just hit that like. I get enough likes on this video, I'll make a breakdown on them. Break down this game. Strengths, weaknesses. Y'all know how I do, right? He out of Georgetown. So I like him, you know what I'm saying? I like him. I like that we still going into the portal. It's kind of like I wish we would have went after the big names, right? So I wish we would have got Gary Patterson in before the portal, before all the talent dried up. I'm hearing Coach Finch. I hear Coach O too. Son, be quiet. I hear Coach O too. But you know, certain Coach O always gonna get brought up with USC. I don't know if that's real rumors, like USC is interested and they want to set up an interview. So I don't know if they really looking at Coach O. I know for sure they looking at Coach Finch. I know for sure they looking at him. He used to coach with Gary Patterson, right? Just won D-line coach of the year. I mean, hey, they gotta be looking at Finch, right? You just lost your D-line coach, and the D-line coach of the year is a free agent. You know they looking at him. Coach Orgeron, I don't know. I think if we was gonna get Coach O, we probably would have got him when we got Henny, right? But I love Coach O too. I love Coach O too because he a cool dude. He a great recruiter. So Coach O with a bag behind him, he'll have the same result. So we winning either way with Coach O or Coach Finch. If them are two candidates, we gonna win either way. What's up? Fight on, fight on. Yeah, so we add linebackers, we add more depth, like I was saying. I wish the Gary Patterson situation could have got resolved faster. I think if he was in house, he would have influenced Chad Bowden and USC to go after the top linebackers in the portal. Because, you know, at one point, people was reporting Scott Strader and them. They was reporting that USC was done in the portal. But since they said that, USC has signed 3 players since then. So, and I like that we keep evaluating the team, right? They feel like they was done in the portal. They must heard something else. They must take an opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's an evolving door. The situation is fluid, and I like that. That means the people at the top is open to suggestions. That means they open to change, and they ain't hard set on it's their way or no way and set in stone because they could have been like, no, we done in the portal. We ain't taking nobody. But it feels like Gary Patterson, like, hey, I think we need to look at this player and this player, right? So I like that we still active. I don't mind trying to find gems, right? Because you got the right coaches and talent, you could coach them up. Just like Indiana, they coached up a lot of James Madison players, a lot of players like this who came from a little lower level of competition, but look great on film. But you didn't know if they could do it on this level. But they had the whole archetype, phenotype, the characteristics, traits. You just had to see it. He's one of those players. He's one of those players for sure. So I ain't trying to get too much into his recruiting, but he like what? He's 6'2", 235. I think I seen something where he had 91 tackles last year, including 7 tackles for loss and 3 sacks. right? For his career, I think he got over 200 tackles for his career. He from Hawaii, right? So he gonna like this California weather. Um, Out of them 91 tackles, he had 48 solo tackles. I like that. He had a season high 16 tackles while also forcing a fumble against Lehigh. He got all kind of honors. But I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that for y'all. If y'all want the recruit video right now, we just talking ball strategy, right? And I like it. But if y'all want to see, his highlights, if y'all know this channel, y'all know I could do the recruiting breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want me to break down this player to a T, just let me know. I'll let you know all his strengths, his pros and cons. I can break them down to a T, man. And if y'all watch previous videos, y'all know that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know that. But I like it. I seen this coming. He visited, and they didn't let him leave. They didn't let him leave. Like I said, his hometown is Hawaii. That's Hawaii, right? That's not particularly West Coast, but Hawaii, you got a West Coast vibe of any vibe. So I think that he gonna fit right in LA. You know what I'm saying? Probably want to get out of the cold area. Where Georgetown at? Ain't Georgetown? I know Georgetown somewhere on the East Coast, so I know he gonna enjoy that weather upgrade. So yeah, stack that linebacker room, put talent. I believe, if anything, just to bring these players in to make sure Desmond Stevens and Jaden Walker is seeing their full potential. See, sometimes a player need to know that the dude behind him is just as good. And if you play around, you'll be on a bench real fast. Keep you on your toes. Competition. It's good to have competition within the team. If the starters, especially on college, if the starters is not challenged by the backups week in and week out to keep their spot, it's not a good team, right? Them great championship Alabama teams, those great teams because the players that were starting, they had 5 stars behind them, and they knew if they didn't stay on their game and did what they needed to do, they'll be on the bench. So it's good to bring players in with production. With production, so you can't look at these players and be like, oh no, I ain't got to worry about you. No, when spring start and when training camp start, oh boy, everybody gonna be on their toes for 2 reasons. Because this super freshman class, this super talented freshman class, bam, new coaching staff, basically new DC. So you started from scratch, and then there's more competition in each room. So I believe that our players are going to be hungry and focused. It's a lot of make or break years for our players. If Cam Crawford going to be the star we think he was going to be, this going to be the year to do it. Same thing with Shelby, right? Right? Jakeem, Bucard. We're going to expect them to take them steps up. So this is a prime year for USC to be locked in, if you ask me. When I factor in, this is a lot of make it, break it years for players. There's a lot of players that's coming into the next stage of progression. Like I said, like Alex Graham and Floyd Bucard and Jakeem Stewart. Most college players make their biggest jump from freshman to sophomore, not sophomore to junior. So we got a lot of players that's going from freshman to sophomore, and we got a lot of players that's going from 1 year experience playing to 2 years playing, right? And then we got the young guys coming in and the transfer portal coming in. So if everybody got their mind right and thinking right, all our players is gonna be locked in because you might get benched and you getting benched in a critical year, like Shelby, Crawford, who else? Like guys like Marcellus. It's a lot of kids on the team that can't afford to not be starting to get bumped down to get passed up by a freshman, right? So they better be locked in. So I love it. I love the class that's coming in, and I love the transfer portal guys. They may be not big names, but these are experienced players though. These are experienced players, and if you do your homework, you know you're gonna have to play and bring it in practice. And it's like I said, it's a make or break year for a lot. Josh Jarrett, this gonna be his 4th year, I think. I think John Jarrett is a redshirt junior, right? G-Day, he gonna be a junior. You know what I'm saying? Desmond, Jaden, gonna be a junior. So it's critical. So I like this, man. I like this. I ain't gonna keep y'all too long. I'm gonna let this video be up. I'm gonna see how many likes it get. If we get enough likes, we gonna do film breakdown. We gonna get into his film. We gonna get into his, his pros and cons. What he good at, what he ain't good at, athletic background, what he excel at. So let me know, man. Let's hit that like. Hopefully, no player departures. I mean, the day in college football, it probably be, but we got to make sure it ain't no core. See, I got a list of untouchables. You know what I'm saying? Got a list of untouchables. Certain players. Well, I'll say this. One player don't make the program, no, but just how one player can energize a program and spark it in the right direction and give it that positive vibe and have it trending upward. One player can have an effect negatively too, right? So it ain't no one man that could break the program, but it's certain players on this team that you will feel like you gotta keep them. You must keep them. Like Thanos, you must keep him. Tanuk Hines, you must keep him. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Bucar, you must keep him. Alex Graham, you must keep him. So long as ain't them must keeps. But everybody, I value every player because depth is needed. But long as it ain't no must keep, a player that you clearly see projected going to the NFL, I see we cool. You know what I'm saying? It might be some players that depart because they see they ain't gonna make the field. So the players that depart, I just hope it just be the ones that ain't good enough. I just hope the coaches make the right decisions that have the best players in the right position to have them happy in the right place mentally. So if we do have departures, it's just the players that wasn't good enough to crack the 2D. Because these kids, it ain't even about the starting label. It's about snaps and reps. The NFL gonna look at snaps and reps. They ain't gonna look at necessarily if you a starter or not. I mean, they gonna know that. But if you listed as a or and you ain't an official starter, but you a linebacker and you have 100 tackles, they ain't gonna care that you a or you not a starter. They gonna turn on the tape and you could get it done. You know what I'm saying? So all these kids want to do is feel like they're gonna get snaps, right? These kids, they at least want probably 30 snaps. Everybody gonna get that, but 25 snaps a game will keep a young guy on the team. He feeling a part of the team. He getting snaps. He getting reps. He getting better. So long as only the departures is guys who wasn't gonna see no snaps. As long as we don't suffer no rotational departures, we'll be great. And I think that's why we build in depth. That's why I feel like you gotta over recruit. I hear people saying because we took 35 kids, that next class is gonna be 15. I'll take it. I probably will take another 35, but I'll take the traditional 25. And I think that's what they gonna do. A lot of USC fans and content creators, they be guesstimating things because when Chad Bowden first came, he said the first class year they might sign up to 40 players. And then he said after that it's gonna be the standard 25, right? We took 35 players because when Chad Bottom looked at the roster, we needed that. We needed everyone to single in them body. So it ain't like recruiting these 35 players really overloaded our roster. Right? So I don't think we're gonna only have to take 15 next year. I say about 20 to 25 would be right. I wouldn't mind focusing on a 20 so you have more money to spend. I don't know if y'all play NCAA football, but you get a certain amount of hours to recruit these kids. In real life, these are really NIL dollars, right? And I noticed on the game, if you start off your recruiting and you only spending hours on like 15 to 20 recruits, you got a high chance of getting them, right? Because you ain't got to spread your hours out. Now every player you could max out their hours and attention. So it's the same thing with NIL. So if we do say we only gonna take 20 players, we still gonna be willing to spend the same amount of money that we spent previous. So say if this on this recruiting class we spent 10 million, we'll be willing to spend 10 million again next year. But it gonna only be for 20 players. So each player individually probably could get more and you'll be able to compete. So next year the recruiting is probably gonna be like we going after the top tier, like we going after 5 stars and we throwing them bags because we don't need that many kids this year. So we gonna throw the top players bags. So I expect next year class it probably be a little smaller, right? But it might even be have better quality. It might even have better quality, right? Because we could say we got depth with the last class. We don't need high numbers. Now we can just focus on great players, right? And we could focus more on swaying you. See, a lot of recruiting start with the college throw something out there and get a feel for the kid. If they feel like they ain't a kid's favorite in the top 5, if they ain't got a great feeling, they'll start recruiting the kid. Like, he ain't coming here. But when you got NIL and you gonna deal with a shorter class, you could keep pressuring that player and double back. You could make them interested. Like, use a priority. We willing to pay you quarterback money. So you could do that. So like I said, the more money and less recruits, the more time and value you could put in them recruits. So it is up for USC. I love the direction we going. I still don't think next year is a championship or a bust. I could see if y'all want the playoffs, right? Because we should be able to, like, if we have a good season and we play to our potential, we still be able to navigate that schedule with only 2 losses, right? We should be able to navigate that schedule with only 2 losses. And that'll put us in the playoffs, because if we only got 2 losses, that means we either beat Indiana, Oregon, or Ohio State. We at least beat one of them, right? So y'all stay tuned, locked in, subscribe. Got videos coming. Like I said, if y'all like this video, I'm gonna do a recruiting breakdown and break down Giancarlo Rufo. Don't he sound like a mafia member? You know what I'm saying? Don't he sound like he for the Italian vibe? Giancarlo Rufo. Tap in with me, y'all. I'm out of here though.